Lena says she can't hear you.
Oh.
Can you hear me
says,
now? Well, no, she can't. Of course she can't hear me now because there's a 30-second delay or something. I'll just keep talking. I have not gotten confirmation from Chelsea anyway that... Oh, no, Chelsea.
Oh, no, she said,
did.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Thank you, Chelsea, for your always very accurate status updates.
Now you are hearable.
Okay, good. So, hello everyone, welcome to your Moontree Isle. Still managed to get the recursiveness into this. Rachel still managed to experience a localized earthquake. And we have some exciting stuff, which you might have seen in the announcement tweets for this, and we were going to get to that. But before we do, I wanted to take a moment to address the events of like the last 2 hours. As many of you have probably seen, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has passed away. And this is, of course, a tragedy, and may she rest in peace. But this also prompted me to think about a lot of things in a very short period of time, but sort of have a lot of thoughts around them. And as commemoration or appreciation of her life and her career, I thought that one of the most fitting things that could be done would be reading something that she'd said at one point on the nature of discrimination and inequality. If you're a boy and you like teaching, you like nursing, you would like to have a doll, that's okay. We should each be free to develop our own talents, whatever they may be, and not be held back by artificial barriers. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a woman who broke many artificial barriers throughout the course of her remarkable career and her remarkable life. She was also a tireless campaigner for equality, understanding, and inclusion, all of which are the highest values that I can think of. And the point that I'd wanted to come back to is that in the middle of this hellscape of a year, with everything that has happened, we at Helpful Goat, particularly our DMs, have tried to express our position around playing these games, around streaming, around having a platform and using it. And we've had different messages, each of which represent our sort of individual takes on it, but around being able to spread awareness, being able to promote things, being able to rest and recharge in order to go back out and do more in the world. And I realized with this, with the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I realized that while all of those things are true for me and all of those are accurate, they also aren't necessarily the thing that drives me. They aren't the reason that I do this. They aren't the reason I think a lot of us do this. We are lucky enough to have a community full of amazing people, like the people that you see in the videos below me, who love and support people in the development of their talents, regardless of barriers. And I've realized that the reason that I want to do this when things like this happen, when tragedies occur, is because through doing these things, we have built a community where people are able to say, here's this traumatic thing that's happening. This sucks. Here's this thing that I love that has been taken from me. Hey, I'm feeling really down about this. Can people just prop me up a little bit? And what I realized is that while I look at the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and I feel grief and I feel sadness, I do not feel existential threat. And there are a great many people in this nation who feel existential threat because this woman is gone. I come out and do this, and have done this, and will continue to do this, in order to tell stories and help other people tell stories where good people take action and make the world better, and to provide a community where, for whatever time, for whatever impact, you don't have to feel existential threat, at least from some small handful of people. That is why we do this. And I hope that if you are watching and if you feel that threat, I hope that we give you a place where you can follow along. I hope that we provide you with some measure of relief. And I hope that we provide you with some measure of community and love and support. I probably should have scripted this out a little bit more because I'm just kind of lost now because I'm very sad.
Thank you, Galway. That absolutely reflects all of that, and I love you, and I am thrilled to, be a member of this community that you and Andy and all of Helpful Good have helped to create, and it does, mean the world that there's this place that, judgment free, where we can voice and vent, and yeah, it means a lot, and she means a lot, and yeah, feeling distraught and disappointed is kind of the ongoing eternal mood right now, but it really helps knowing that, in some sense, we have a community that's, bracing the storm together and is caring about each other, and it's, yeah.
Can I also just share really quickly that, so as everybody, a lot of people know, I'm an elementary school teacher, and I had actually just pulled this book out yesterday to read to the kids that I teach, and ended up not working yesterday for reasons, but it was right here. And it's I Dissent. It's the picture book on Ruth Bader Ginsburg's life. And so I'm actually kind of glad that I wasn't able to read it yesterday, because that means I can read it to them on Monday, and I can, have a real conversation about her importance. And if either you, ooh, I muted myself. If either you have kids, I fell back and hit my headphones, or you teach, or you just care, it's like beautifully done, but it's also like, it is an amazing book. And this is probably one of the few books that I've read that I've had, when I just introduced what it was, I had the kids literally begging me to read it. And I had kids go home and ask their parents, "What do you know about Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Could you tell me more about her?" And like, just super inspired. Like, it talks just a lot about her and her life and what she fought against and what she fought for. And it's just really phenomenal. And I just really like that I looked down and it was literally at my feet in my school bag right now. And I just thought it was fitting, and I wanted to mention it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
Thank you.
But yeah, I I know it's a long, heavy start to things, but it was something that has obviously been coming up and been thinking about it, and some things were put in focus, and I wanted to take that moment, and I wanted to take this moment just to say, for everyone feeling existential threat around this right now, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I can't make that better, and I'm sorry that this has been your reality. I'm sorry that this is your reality, but I hope that you're staying as well as you can. I hope that you can take some enjoyment from us playing some game and telling a story about good people doing their best and trying to make a difference in the world. I am also very excited. Sam has been working really, really, really hard on a piece of music for this, and I'm pleased that we're going to get to debut that. So we're going to cue that up. I'll go for a couple minutes. Might take even a quick break to recharge ourselves, and then we're going to, I think, get into things. So enjoy the premiere of The 8 Pillars by Sam Winnie, along with a beautiful slideshow, which I want to thank Adam Lover for helping put together, which also features art from The Miraculous Monty. Enjoy, everyone. A world nearly destroyed by a cataclysm, saved by the actions of heroes long gone. A world that has survived, recovered, and even thrived. This is the world of Tyr. Here, the descendants of those heroes and the other survivors of the cataclysm have built great nations, the 8 pillars that support the world. Nearly 1,500 years after the cataclysm, the world is one of relative calm. However, beneath this veneer of peace, great forces move. With every shift and shudder, they threaten to disrupt the delicate balance that keeps the pillars standing. Now, across the world, knowingly or not, people must become heroes, or the pillars will fall and Tyr will be no more. Join us as we follow some of those heroes and see their struggles to keep their world from destruction. So thank you so much again to Sam for the beautiful, beautiful piece of music. Thank you so much to at Miraculous Monty, or at Monty, or God, I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine.
At Miraculous Monty
on Twitter, Monty at Miraculous Monty on Twitter for the character art, which through minor deception is now your tokens. And Adam, thank you so much for, in the midst of being very busy and getting ready for a move, finishing and providing so much of the support for that video. For the sake of telling a good story, we'd like to jump into tonight's Moontree Isle. And in order to do that, would you all like to recap where we left off?
I forgot to open my book.
In a honey.
Well,
Yep.
we started
A lot of in a honey.
with me and, I mean, I guess we don't have to recap everything, but we found out me and Dent went to, or Nero and Dent went to Niacilian, who was the proprietor of the second door. and a lot of stuff happened, but basically Dent touched an object that he was drawn to, and now he has a docent.
Mm-hmm. And
Chest
we
bling.
also
Chest
chest bling, yeah. The docent's name is Ed. Dented. And it has several interesting abilities. A wonderful customer service voice, and it enabled me over the course of just an evening, a night, to basically it can now translate Aquin for me, and it was able to translate Nycilian's name, which is in fact not a name, but is the Aquin word for servant. And for those of us that have witnessed Tier Beyond the Doors, and perhaps in previous tier things, I don't know if servant has shown up, but character named servant is basically just a helpful guy. And
also, I really wanted a connected thing, and so Nycilian, I kept picking up random things and asking if they connected to me, and Nycilian eventually handed me a piece of paper that was an IOU for if I brought him back a cool thing that I thought that would maybe be good for him or might connect with things, or if it felt right, then he would keep an eye out for connecting something with me. So yeah, now I have a very important piece of paper.
Along with the imaginary piece of paper that you also keep in your back pocket.
Yeah.
From Minnow, yes. I have my imaginary piece of paper, my imaginary IOU, and my actual IOU.
Neither of which will probably be fulfilled.
How dare you?
Ketch was busy decoding and deciphering and managed to find out about 90% of what was going on in that book, but then was stumped and had to rely on the rest of the Marauders. And we discovered that the code was a simple code, but Ketch is more simple than the code. But we now know that we must seek out the silent prestige.
And they are an organization that is massive, mysterious, and has a knack for having little trinkets and stuff that look like they should make sounds, but don't.
And every so often, rarely, crafters will be employed to produce those items.
And they are not bad guys, which is always a plus for the Marauders.
Yay! I did have my next notes in here, did say Nero's nickname is now Caligula, so I forgot about that.
I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
Well, it was your code name. It was your code name.
Oh, my code
is
name
now Caligula.
Yes. Minnow gave you a code name because
That's right.
Because you were like, but secret agents? I don't know. I do have the at the top of my notes, 250 GP written down.
That
was.
Did I give you that?
Probably
I think
from the
I
bag.
gave you from
Berdiers.
Berdier?
Yeah.
Berdier?
Okay, so I probably need to see if I've actually put that on my character sheet or not. Nope, I sure haven't. I'm gonna now. So if you
I
had
have
it in yours,
no gold in my character sheet.
Okay.
I don't actually know how many I should have, Galway.
Right?
I never
Well,
put it in.
we now have at least
I don't know.
250
Don't
in
keep
my
track of your
purse.
sundries?
Because that's how Minnow be.
Has anybody ever kept track of money and knows how much we might possibly have?
I
had,
personally,
like,
Ketch
40
has
in my
57 for some reason. I don't know why.
I had 42 already, so now I'm up to like almost 300.
I'm just gonna give myself 50 and it'll be
But
fine.
wait, so like, are you almost up to 300, or is the group
So
almost
the
up to
group
300?
yeah. So that's the thing.
Listen
Minnow,
here,
like I would
She
happily.
is flush.
Do we want to split that money up, or do you want Minnow just carry it? Because I don't care, but it was handed to Minnow, so right now
Carrying
Minnow
it
has
as like a
250.
party fund, I think is fine.
That's fine with me.
Oh,
You're
you're
muted,
muted.
Chris, and you're
That it was-
very
Chris,
active.
you're muted.
Oh, now
Oh,
we
no.
now we
it
can
just
hear you,
wasn't
though.
catching your voice.
Okay, let's say Ketch very much remembers that Nero held it up and that Minnow snatched it. I don't think it was actually given to Minnow.
Well, to be fair, Minnow knew about the money, asked about the money. Nero held it out and said, "This money?" And Minnow said, "Yes, thank you," and took it away from him because Minnow knows how easy of a mark Nero is based on her own pickpocketing experience. But you're absolutely right. I don't think it was discussed. So we can divide that up. We could go. I mean, it was given to us specifically to fund boat travel.
To look for the girl.
No, I think this was just a reward to look for the girl.
This was essentially this was essentially Nero would probably be able to relate to you in a way that Minnow would be able to tease out. The sort of boat and other support was sort of separate from this. This was essentially just taking the mission fee.
Okay.
With promises of then also gratitude and other support on the back end if you manage to find, frankly, even his daughter's body.
Okay, so then I guess in character, once we start the actual game, like Minnow will offer everybody 50 gold because I think that would be how, right? 50 each would get us to 250.
Yes.
So if you get, but we can get there when we get there. I have some notes about Dent had a vision.
Yes, I have two memories. One was of a war where I was fighting on the front lines I couldn't tell where. I couldn't tell you where it was, if I was even on this continent or not. But it appeared to be possibly during the Cataclysm. I was fighting against shadow monsters that were quadruped / many legs. And then I also have a distinct memory of sitting at a dinner table with a family eating fish. Yeah. And
I also have I checked the note from the magistrate, and we discovered gleaned from it that the Circle of Scribes had paid the kobold to try to frame the pineapples for the burning of the scribe shop. And so I think that's the last note I have jotted down, but I seem to recall last session that my notes weren't great. So
yeah, so we learned a lot from Inahani. We learned that people have just been straight up walking into the water. We're going to get some smuggler maps from Inahani at some point today. We've learned that even though so much of the population has straight up disappeared, none of the Shadow Hand has, which is interesting. And we have learned that the mists that have been popping up around the water have intensified towards Moontree Isle. Something big is in the water, was able to drag things. I had some stuff from Dellen. I wrote, the silent prestige is seeking them, but I don't know if them was the Shadow Hand or magical items, because it doesn't say in my notes.
I think that was what the message said, was the silent prestige is seeking them, but I could be wrong.
Okay. We also know that the silent prestige don't fuck with the police. And they are beneficently motivated. Jeez, I can English. But that's all I had for notes.
We also learned that the kobold who tried to burn down the thing from before was most likely from the Circle of Scribes.
And I have a name written down in absolutely no context. Ferdinand Pothos? Or Pothos and then an arrow with Ferdinand.
This
Did not write that one down. So.
Another lizard friend or something.
No,
How dare you?
Was that one of the lords or something?
Galway, who's Ferdinand?
I have Inahani, and then Pothos, and then Ferdinand with an arrow pointing to Pothos.
Galway is stumped.
I'm actually stumped, and I'm trying to.
He wasn't. This person wasn't someone that we interviewed.
No, I know their names. If this is a name, it would have to be something that I came up with on the spur of the moment, but I don't even. I'm just not coming up with Pothos, which is what I'm more confused by.
Plant.
Ferdinand makes perfect sense.
Ferdinand! No!
Yeah. It's your plant. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god!
Ferdinand is your
We're
Pothos
talking
plant.
about your plants.
My little degenerate kitten likes
yes,
to destroy and dig into.
Your
So
actual,
Heather wrote down the name of your Chris's actual houseplants in her D&D notes. Amazing.
Okay, so
that is just delightful.
That is so wonderful.
hilarious.
That was the.
that was also
And
terrifying
explains
because
the
I'm
lack
like,
of context.
I know sometimes I
So
make up
good.
names on the spot, but normally if you tell me the name and a connection to another name, I'm going to know what it. Did I black out for a long period of
Oh
episodes?
my god, I did apparently.
I'm
That's
Amazing,
too
though.
funny.
She's talking
So good.
about it, and I'm just like,
Kitty.
okay,
Sorry.
That was
Okay.
amazing. I'm so happy that happened.
Yeah, I was
And
like,
then-
wait,
oh,
I
beautiful cat.
distinctly remember talking about a Ferdinand too, but like,
I was like,
what was-
Pothos is so familiar. Why?
plant. Plant.
And then I had written,
but then Rachel was like, "Oh yeah, because I used to work at like a
Greenhouse, right? Yeah.
horticulture
Greenhouse,
thing.
yeah.
Greenhouse, yeah."
Now we've recapped our side conversation.
And ironically,
everybody.
From the episode, or the
and
session.
ironically, we still haven't recapped the fact that as you all went to bed,
I was just
Minnow
about to
got
say that.
woken
That was
up.
my top kind of note.
Yes.
Oh
No,
yeah,
it was just somebody. We don't know who it was. I
No,
just
it
wrote
was
Ressa
locket.
sees a
The
figure
locket.
on a roof with Minnow's locket.
yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So
Rest-
In my
I
head, I,
read that-
thought it was Nycilium.
It was Minnow.
But
Mm-mm. It was just a figure.
yeah, and it was Minnow saw it, not Ressa.
Oh, I wrote Ressa.
Saw it.
We were in the same room, but it was Minnow that
That's fair.
saw it.
I can fix my notes.
Ooh, okay. Can we retcon a quick conversation? It can be out of character, but about the gold of just the 50 gold. Does everybody want their 50 gold? Should I, or do you do you want Minnow
No.
to carry party money? Because I don't care either way.
I mean, I'm happy with
Okay,
you
party
carrying the party money, but I personally don't think that Dent has much of an attachment to money.
Yeah, I was
So-
mostly because of Nero and Dent. Minnow, I think, was inclined to keep the money in the sense of like, this might be more responsibly spent if kept on my person, but would certainly have noted that we could split this as well. So I guess,
And would have like noted to people, hey, here's sort of what your balance is in the bank
Yeah.
of Minnow.
but happily would give the 50 to Catch and Ressa. I mean, or any of you. If Dent was like, give me my 50, she's not gonna like hold on to your 50, right? So would Catch or Ressa specifically want their 50? Okay,
No.
so for now, just Minnow will hold on to it, and if you guys change your minds, let me know. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, let me just get a couple things set up, sorry. Doop-a-doo.
I love our little
Kitty.
icons so much.
I know they're
I'm
so,
so
good.
happy. I'm so excited. I'm glad
They're
that we
so
finally get to
good.
use them.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I'm
these
happy
also
for
feature
my
art
weird fire
by-
cow.
by Monty. So now we can see the half-burned cowman in all his glory.
I just love that side-eye
Caligula.
look that Ketch is given his tail.
I know, it sums up that
It's
you
excellent.
son of a bitch. So okay, the kitty is everything.
Kitty.
So Minnow,
The part of Heather will be played by Kitty.
Yeah.
who ironically won't be playing catch.
No, might be following Ketch around.
So yeah, Minnow, as you
We just lost
Bye,
Sam.
Sam.
Damn.
This was happening last night on Spire too.
Okay.
People were just randomly getting booted.
sorry, everyone was just like, bye Sam, and I'm like, did I miss that
what?
Sam was only sticking around for 40 minutes of game? Because I would have
He was just here for the
implemented
opening.
my story different.
This
Right?
cat is too beautiful, Heather. I'm.
Oh, yeah.
What a precious.
Yeah.
What's
little
this
friend.
cat's name?
Mia. This is
Oh,
Mia.
that's my
Yeti.
niece's name.
Is it?
That's irrelevant, but your cat is very cute.
Thank you.
So pretty.
She's a brat, but
They all
Minnow, you just wake to this like ping, ping. Sorry, my cat's decided to start screaming, and I'm like, could you not for a minute? Here's this ping, ping, and it wakes you up from just sort of a very light sleep. You see Ressa next to you, sort of already asleep, rather peacefully. And it takes you a second. You're kind of looking around of like, is someone in the hallway? Is someone? And then your eyes sort of go over to the window, and across the way on the roof of the building across from you, you see a figure. They're tall, but it's very difficult to discern actually their build or their heritage because they're wrapped with like very loose clothing, which is generally very dark gray. And you can see dangling from their right hand, suspended by a chain, your locket. And they're just sort of flicking it with the middle finger of their left hand, and like very clearly facing in your window.
How close are they? You said the building across, so like 30, 40 feet?
Yeah, they're probably about 45 feet.
Okay, I'm going to poof my bird on the locket and have Finch try to snatch the locket. And I will be visually and audibly through Finch.
So you're looking, basically you're commanding Finch's body as directly as you can.
Yes.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
What are you doing sleight of hand for exactly?
Try and snatch the locket.
Are they that close to you?
Finch
Oh,
got there.
thank you. Okay.
Sorry, my mouse is still double rolling. 17.
It's
Oh, that
no,
was
it's not
just-
double rolling. It's just rolling with it's rolling
It
both
might
dice.
still though. It's definitely double clicking on
Oh,
things
okay,
when it
okay.
shouldn't be.
I was like,
so,
that
but
one's
this time
fine.
it actually did successfully. Okay, 17.
17, very good. Finch sort of like reaches out and grabs, and you're controlling this very precisely. As much as you can't sort of control Finch's body, you can target this very precisely. And at the last second, the figure sort of like spins away, and it got very close. You could feel almost the link of the chain, but the figure will sort of spin back, and now the locket is no longer dangling from their finger. You suspect that they've palmed it more fully.
I'm looking up something in my book here. Fuck. Of course it's not right there.
I was gonna say, she types, can a level 5 arcane trickster cast fireball?
Okay. Almost there. I just need to know what
that's
the range
the
on the
answer for
spell
everything.
is. How
Do I
close did
wake
you
up
say they
at all?
are?
45 feet.
45 feet. Okay. Minnow is not there right now. Minnow is in the bird, so she's not making noise or doing anything. Okay,
Minnow is in the bird. Sorry.
Minnow is in the bird. Okay,
That's very good.
I'm gonna try and get Finch closer to this person to get a better look at them then.
Sure, give me a perception check. You still need to use... You can use Finch's senses, but you can use your own perception. Because you're basically powering it by how you're targeting it.
Nice.
27. Very nice.
See the wrinkles on that
So with that roll for perception, you looking through Finch's eyes as you're sort of like swooping back, and I kind of picture this as like you swoop in for a pass, but you don't actually try to make contact. It's just trying to get a full sense, and even maybe like swooping up and down some. They are quite tall. They're over 6 feet tall. It is very hard to see their figure within the cloak, but you would suspect that they're probably elven kind. Finch is able to get close enough that you can see like their limbs are quite thin. The locket is up their left sleeve. You can see just like a little bit of the chain, and actually probably even just hear a little bit of it rattling. And they are not armed. Like as you're sort of going by, you don't see any armor, you don't see any of the posture, like you see a sort of person under cloth. They could have a weapon, but it would have to be really, really, really hidden.
Okay, I am going to bring my consciousness. I'm going to send Finch so that if they try and like swat Finch, they're not going to get him. And then bring my consciousness back to Minnow and open the window and climb out.
Okay.
Are we on the first floor or the second floor?
You're on the second floor.
Great, cool.
If you look on the map, this is sort of roughly correct, not for distances, but the general layout of the town. You could theoretically make it to the roof of this building right here, because it's only 1 story tall. It's basically the stable, and then from there make the jump over to that next set of buildings.
Okay, I want to get to the roof of that thing and get within 30 feet.
Sure. Give me an acrobatics check to see how well you land this.
23.
You sort of just snap back into yourself, open the window, and almost with the same motion vault out, hit tuck and roll, and now I'm on the wrong layer, so I couldn't manipulate anything. You tuck and roll forward and sort of bring yourself up at about 25 feet.
Okay, I will use Mage Hand Ledger Domain.
Okay.
And I would like Finch to take the help action, to pickpocket my locket. Pickpocket my locket.
Pickpocket your locket.
Can I wake up, like when she's climbing out the window?
I don't think Minnow concerned herself with being stealthy, so if Ressa is a light sleeper,
I will let you rule how would you be a light sleeper, would that, like, I don't think that you were necessarily very quiet, but I also don't think you made a huge amount of noise.
I opened the window and I jumped, so like it's not like a huge amount of noise, but it's also, I wasn't being quiet about it. So.
But I'll let the players rule on how that works.
Well, I could say 50-50 and roll a die. How's that? Odds, I'm asleep. Evens, I'm awake.
Ooh, interesting way to do it.
You're awake.
Hey!
I'm awake. Nice. All right.
So, Ressa, what you've just seen is you kind of wake up, you kind of wake up at the sound of the window swinging open. Like there's a little... but what you wake up to see is Minnow's cloak sort of trailing after her as she leaps out of the window without a word or a backward glance.
Okay, and I will immediately go to the window and just look and see what she's doing.
Okay. You have dark vision 60 because you're a dwarf. So you have similar range to this. You can see a figure on the other roof. You probably can't see Finch because Finch had sort of swooped back a bit. And then you can see Minnow down. Probably the first thing you see is Minnow down on the roof of the stable, kind of focused up in a direction. And then you follow that line to see this other figure.
Notably, sorry, please continue.
And I was going to say, now you can go ahead and give me your sleight of hand.
Notably, my Mage Hand Ledger Domain is invisible in case that changes the DC. Sleight of hand, please. And I have advantage from Finch.
Correct.
24.
24. You feel the hand sort of like wrap up and in, and it's sort of working up these sort of voluminous sleeves, and then hold on to the locket.
I'm going to, so it has a hold of it. Does the figure react?
The figure, I'm going to say more looks like they're sort of not swatting away, but they sort of pivot their stance away so that the help
Okay.
that Finch was giving was swooping in again.
Okay. I am going to draw, oh boy, the Wavering Menace. And
Okay.
I am going to use Dread Rises. Once as an action, you can release a wave of terror. Each creature of your choice within a 30-foot radius must succeed on DC 15 Wisdom save. So this person will probably make it, but it's worth a shot.
Wisdom?
Wisdom.
It's difficult for you to tell from where you are, but you don't think they're afraid of you.
I mean, it would have to start moving away from me.
Oh, right. I wrote that one with the
It must start
Dissonant
moving, yeah.
Whispers version. Yeah, they are not moving away from you.
Okay, fine. Fuck. Okay. Then I will. I guess just continue trying to withdraw the. Never mind. I'm going to stow the sword and shoot with an arrow, and I'm just going to shoot this person.
Okay.
And when I see that, I would attack as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say you saw a sword drawn. Nothing really happened from your perspective. Sword got stowed, and we're like, oh, okay, we're showing weapons off.
Yeah, to note that I'm just. Never mind. It was worth a try.
Kidding.
I could have teleported to him if it had succeed, but since I did not succeed, I can't teleport over there. So I will draw my bow and shoot. And the goal here is not to do as much damage as possible, but to distract enough that the Mage Hand Legerdemain can finish getting the locket. So I would specifically be aiming at the shoulder of the arm holding the locket, something like that, so that in theory this person would loosen their grasp on the locket.
Okay, very good. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Do I still have advantage because Finch is being distracting?
No, that swoop sort of has ended. Otherwise Finch would have been sticking in range of this person. 20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage for me. And I am counting this as a called shot of you're not trying to kill. And you're trying to maximize distraction.
Yep. 10
Very
max
good.
damage.
10 damage.
Fuck. Oh, do I have sneak attack? I don't, because Finch didn't have. They weren't. Never mind. I don't have sneak attack. It's okay.
Your rolling has totally made up for your HP roll from earlier.
Just tell me about it. This has been the string of luck that I don't want to change, but it will. It will.
So,
the shoe will drop.
You sort of loose an arrow and you almost target it so that it's coming right where Finch is flying, and Finch sort of peels off at the last minute so that
I have the sneak attack go away. I'm kidding.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. But now I know.
I like the narration of it. I was just being sassy.
At the last moment, and you're aiming sort of right in at this collarbone to just try to maybe either if it hits, it's going to weaken the arm, and even if they pivot away, they're going to have to do a lot of action with it. And you're a little bit surprised when the figure just very calmly goes, "Thump."
Fuck. God damn it. All right.
However, that pivot did take their focus off of their left arm for a second. So give me one more sleight of hand.
Okay. Can I have Finch help me on this? Is it enough time for Finch to swoop in again?
This is sort of hitting with the attack. This is coming sort of with the arrow coming in.
Okay.
It is reflected in the DC that you distracted them, though. 15. You're fairly sure that you have pulled the locket free.
Okay. I will shout as I'm retrieving the locket. I want the mage hand to be stealthy as possible, pulling the locket away. So if they haven't noticed, then they may not. And I'm just going to shout, say, because I'm close enough and it's nighttime. Who the fuck are you and what do you want? Try and keep their attention on me and not the locket.
You're going to sort of see them straighten, and the arrow is on the roof, and they'll sort of cock their head at you, and then And with that, they're going to sort of just sort of flip backwards off of the roof.
I'm gonna chase.
Okay.
I will get down onto the ground if they've gotten to the ground level.
It's hard for you to tell because it's a peaked roof. So they sort of went over.
Parkour, let's go.
Yeah.
And Ressa, let's check back in with you. What would you like to do? Because you have at this point seen Minnow in very rapid succession shout at a person, and now is just like starting to bolt.
And I don't think I have the speed to keep up, probably.
I don't think you, as Ressa, are particularly confident in your ability to do ceiling, like second story work.
Do.
Right. So knowing
Meanwhile,
that,
Nero.
I
Hi,
probably
Steve. Hi,
would.
Steve. Hi, Steve.
Wait, what was that?
Nero's just snoring, saying hi to Steves. All the Steves in the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to jump in too harshly here, but I will admit I was never asleep.
Correct. You do hear the shout. I was gonna let Heather say what
So
Ressa
you're
was
down
doing,
in
and then
the
I was gonna
common room,
see if
right?
there's anything you were doing.
Yeah, I would let the others know.
Okay, so
What
you're gonna
happened
turn
when I
back
saw.
in and go wake people up. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Dent, you hear a shout from outside of like, who the hell are you? You didn't really hear much else. Like, you're not hearing combat, but you definitely heard Minnow shout, and it was definitely outside the inn.
Yeah, I mean, immediately having heard Minnow, I would be making my way as quickly as I could to approximately where I heard Minnow's voice.
Okay, cool. You know it was somewhere out here. I'm going to say that with sort of you acting and moving, we're going to pop back to Minnow. So you're going to try to give chase?
I'm gonna try and give chase, and I would like Finch to be trailing this person if they can see them, to give me kind of a heads up of where they're going or which direction they've gone.
Sure thing. Have Finch give me a perception check.
Do you have Finch's stats offhand? Because I think I had a different set of stats than you last time I looked it up, and I didn't want to.
Yes, I do. I just have so many NPCs.
I also don't think Finch has night vision, so this would probably be at disadvantage.
Oh, wow. You're in this weird double thing. You have advantage on
raptor not
wisdom
have night
perception checks that
vision?
rely on sight. But you have no dark vision, so you fundamentally can't see as Finch.
So
Very
just
well.
a straight roll, because it would have been disadvantage and...
But it wouldn't be disadvantage if they don't have dark vision, because they just can't see then. It's at that point blindness essentially equals impossible.
dim light in the...
I'm going to allow dim light
Streets.
because it is moonlit out, so I would say it's a straight roll. You are getting the
Okay.
advantage
and
disadvantage
what's their
cancel out.
okay, thank you, that's fair. And what is the perception bonus? Sorry, I should have that stat.
I can also,
Okay.
let me just give you control of this hawk.
18 perception for Finch.
Very good, 18. You get back from Finch sort of this telepathic sense of alarm. Finch cannot see this person.
Okay, I guess I would be trying to make it onto the roof at the same time as Finch is looking for them. The next roof where they were before, where I saw them flip off. Also, do I have the locket now?
Yes, the locket has sort of gotten back into your hand. Okay, I'm just going to... No, not the map layer. Not the map layer. The GM layer. Don't want to make them part of the fucking map. Jesus Christ. There we go. Very good. So you're back up there. You can give me a survival check if you want to try to track them, or just a perception check if you're just looking around, trying to see very badly in the dim light.
Will one of those have a lower or higher DC? Because my survival is not great, but...
Maybe.
Okay.
But that's for you to decide.
Yes, it is. I will try... I mean, my perception is +8 and my survival is +2. It's just so much higher likelihood of success with this. So we'll try perception. 18?
18.
It's not gonna be good.
You don't see or hear any sign of them. Let's pivot. Nero and Ketch, Ressa just like slaps open the door to your room. And Ressa, what would you tell people?
Minnow went out the
Sits
window
straight
after
up.
someone.
Yeah, Nero literally jumps out of bed and one like on his feet, just like.
You kip up
Minnow
out
went
of
out the
bed.
window after
Yeah,
somebody.
I kip up out of bed, exactly.
Okay, Ketch will sit straight up into bed, but Ketch is not awake.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just gonna say, which direction? Except I don't say it that fast. That's not how Nero talks. He says, which direction?
I
they
was
have a
wondering if
window?
Nero was going to talk about little rat hands.
Right? Hey, which direction he's going? God. Don't you guys wish I made that Nero's voice?
Hmm.
No, please no.
Do they have a window looking out the same side? So I could point them directly to it?
It's kind of down the hall. Like, you've cut down the hall to get to this room, so it would be back out towards your
Okay.
room.
Then I would just say in the rooftops to the east, the building to the east.
Okay, I'm just gonna start running in that direction then. And I got a movement speed of 50 feet.
Okay, are you going to go down and out, or...
Out the window.
Okay, you're gonna run through their room, jump off out the window, probably follow. Cool. Give me an acrobatics check.
Sure.
And Ketch, and so Ressa, you are left in this room with Ketch sitting completely upright and completely asleep, from what Chris is describing. Oh, okay, but it's not that
okay.
fumble.
It's not that one. It's 12.
I was like, oh no, Cowman bad. 12.
It's the 12.
It wasn't very graceful, but you do manage to sort of scrabble onto the roof. You're a little bit heavier than Minnow, so, there's a little bit of buckling of some of the beams as a cowman jumps on it from 10 feet up.
Minnow turns bow drawn and is like, "Oh, god damn it, Nero."
What is it? What's happening?
I can't fucking find. They were on the roof and then they're just gone. I'm gonna Finch is just, I would imagine, circling. In my
Yep.
mind, Minnow is just doing everything she can via Finch to see, and her own eyes, to see if she can find any evidence of where this person went.
Which direction did they go? I'll start running.
They jumped that way, and that's the last I saw them. They just.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
God.
jump that way.
God.
Just gonna go.
Okay, so Nero's just bounding over rooftops, then going this way.
And looking.
And no, I know, and looking. I wasn't denying that. I'm just saying I didn't hear a, terminate the run at this point order. So give me a perception check, Rachel, and an acrobatics check. We'll let you have one more chance to see how well you generally deal with rooftops.
All right, I will do acrobatics first.
15.
15 could be worse. Has been worse just recently.
I was gonna say was just worse.
And 18 perception.
Very nice. Yeah, you're
Which
not.
I think it's what I at least had. So I mean, I'm not gonna.
You're not seeing anything, but you are moving further. So that would vary potentially the DC of this check. So we're gonna say you're this sort of next roof over. You're looking around. You're not seeing anything yet. Dent, you sort of rushed outside. We're trying to figure out where this was. You hear a onto the roof of the stable right next to you as something slams into it. So you're pretty sure. And then you hear Minnow's, "Oh God damn it, Nero." So you know that they're above you on the rooftops.
There's no way that I'm trying to make it up onto a rooftop. So maximum movement to whichever direction. I assume Dent never saw the person that Minnow was tailing.
No.
Then I guess I'm just heading in whatever direction I heard Minnow, and then continuing on.
So you sort of heard Minnow from right around here, and then you hear movement continuing on to sort of the southeast, which is Nero going across the roof.
I think I would, if I was coming out of the tattoo turtle there, I'm probably running down this alleyway.
Okay, cool.
And then I don't know size-wise how far I'd be able to get with a 35 movement speed.
Probably about to this alley interchange. You can give me a perception check if you're looking for something.
Yeah, I
You know Minnow was
imagined-
talking to someone besides Nero, otherwise Minnow has just been threatening Nero repeatedly.
Well, I would have at least seen Nero leave the building, so I would have known that it wasn't Nero that Minnow was tailing. -1 perception. Here we go. Wait, it didn't roll.
Feared.
Sometimes it just takes a minute.
All right, I'll try again. Still.
There you go.
Oh.
2.
Oh.
And here comes the second one.
Oh.
13 would have been better, but the 2, you're not really sure. You're not even sure what you're looking for. You're not even sure you're looking for a person. Minnow might have just been screaming at like an object or generally in frustration. It's been known to happen. So you're not really sure. And now let's cut back. Ressa, what would you like to do with the upright but unawares catch? If anything.
Catch, are you awake?
Mom.
Come on. Minnow's
Ghost
chasing
has
someone.
a toy up his nose again.
Oh. I'll just kind of take your face and go, come on, catch. Minnow's chasing someone.
Ressa, why are you in my room?
Because Minnow's chasing someone. Nero went too.
Oh, okay. Let me know how that goes. I'm just kidding. Let's go.
All right. And we'll head down and out, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you're gonna head down and out. Very good.
Yeah.
So let's say you can make it sort of over to here, coming out of the building.
They can probably hear me clunking.
They can hear. You can sort. Yes, and I was gonna say you can hear sort of clank, clank, clank down from the hallway. You can somehow feel Minnow fuming on a roof above you, and you can also hear the slightly burnt noises of a cowman making his way over the roofs.
Slightly burnt noises.
Okay.
What
Crispy.
I see.
So you've now seen everyone basically deploy.
Okay. Catch. Can you can climb your cat? You have night vision, right? You can. Those are cat things. Can you help me up here?
Yeah, I can do all that. I can also run really, really fast. What do you need
I
me
know.
to do?
Well, I was hoping maybe you could help me look for clues up here of where this person went because I don't know what direction to send you in, even though I know you're really fast. So
Okay.
if
So
we
I'll
could
climb up.
track him first.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll climb up to where you are. Wait, you do understand I'm a cat. I'm not a dog, right? I can't sniff
I just
scent.
need. Okay, I'll tell you what to look for. You just look for it.
As you get up there, also you can see from like the alley over where you heard Dent. You hear.
They're ready for you.
Ressa, please
Cats
keep the
meow.
cats off the roof while we look for any clues.
I'll
You
do my
imagine
best
The cats
to
just
get down.
trampling all the clues.
They're gonna steal the clues.
My hope is that my assistance of coaching Catch what to look for would give Catch advantage on a survival check to track this person.
I'll give a bonus, or lower the DC. Catch, go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Wisdom is not Catch's like cup of tea, man.
7.
What's
Advantage
my
would have been
bonus?
great, like the help action grants.
Damn, Elise!
I'm going
She is
to. Can I?
feisty
I'm
today.
feisty. Minnow is upset. I'm sorry. I adore you, Galway, and your ruling is perfect.
I also have an inspiration left.
I was gonna say, do I want to spend inspiration?
Is this important enough to you for me to spend an inspiration?
Can I spend my inspiration on it for you? Because I feel like it's important enough for Minnow to spend hers.
You can, sorry. It also occurred to me that I should clarify one way I did that ruling. The help action is an action in combat that grants advantage because you spend your round doing it. I normally rule out of combat it's a bonus and it's a flat bonus, or frankly, I just lower the DC. But it's not the
fair.
advantage swing.
It is fair. That is
Because otherwise, frankly, why would any of you
choice.
ever not have advantage? You should just be helping each other continually.
Always.
Yeah. Okay, so then I would like to spend my inspiration
Absolutely.
For me to reroll.
Oh no, it's the cursed die.
Oh, shit!
Catch is still asleep. Catch is still asleep. This is all a nightmare.
Oh, you're just like.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Well, at least you don't have to use that one. Yikes. Catch, you may also use advantage, or not advantage. You may use inspiration if you have it and wish to. It's up to you.
How much worse can it get, right? Let's go for it.
But, well, we've seen how much worse it can get.
Yes,
We've hit the bottom
it
now.
literally
Goodbye,
cannot get worse.
inspiration. Let's try this bitch again.
Ooh.
14.
Hey!
So much better.
That is much, much better.
14.
Double 14.
I assume that you'd like to take the 14, not the fumble 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would,
So, Catch,
that would be best.
You get up there and you're still kind of like, nah. You hear the cats starting to mew in the alley and are dreading the upcoming attack. They hadn't quite sniffed out where you were, and it was a nice ability to get to sleep for once. And so you see Minnow, and Minnow sort of points out to you, and you can very much see the footfalls, and then you can see the twist of where they were digging in almost to do that flip. And then you go over and you look on the other side based on where Minnow describes, and you look around, and you look around some more. And it makes no sense, but the only conclusion that you can come to is that they never landed from the flip.
Okay, so then immediately I'm just gonna look up.
It's a good instinct, though you don't see anything other than Finch circling.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep looking up until Minnow says something.
Do you think they're flying?
Well, I don't think they landed.
Upon hearing that, would Minnow or Catch do an Arcana check or something?
I've been wanting to do something, wait until my turn too to do something with this.
And I was going to roll back over to you, I would say, because you've been making your way over the rooftops.
Can I cast, using my Fearbulk magic, can I cast Detect Magic? To see if I can notice this person, if they have
Yes.
magical things, or, yeah. So, I want to use Fearbulk magic to detect magic.
Just double checking something. Okay.
Also, just a heads up, I also do not have night vision, which is why I died before. So just to keep in mind that I can only barely see by the dim moonlight, but I can see detect magic shimmers.
But stuff should be glowing if it's magical. Behind you, you can see Minnow's weapon glowing. You can see in the alleyway dent shimmering vaguely. The chest bling is quite bright now. Ressa, as always, is essentially glowing. But yeah, you don't see any traces of anyone that isn't your friends.
Unless they don't, and I call back, unless they don't have anything magical, I don't think they're here anymore.
Okay. Thank you for looking. I will just hold up the locket and kind of crumple it in my fist. I'm not literally crumple, but the chain and the thing into a ball of my fist.
You're
and
crushing it now.
Crushing it, no, but crumpled, gathered up in my hand and holding it very tightly, white knuckling it, and just kind of muttering to myself. I think Catch would be close enough to hear just fucking idiot, and it seems very directed at herself. Minnow is very mad at herself, and just will make her way down to rejoin the group.
Okay, Catch is still slightly looking up, but when I hear you talking, I'll be like, oh, we're going down now? Okay, That's cool.
Thanks for helping catch. Thanks for looking.
I
You can stop looking. And I'll bring Finch back down to me as well, and just like have Finch kind of like perched on the same hand that's clutching the locket, and just like very anxiety style, like just stroking my bird. Just which,
Oh, yeah,
listen,
so you
I
probably
live
would
for the
all think to
hashtags.
reconvene over this way.
Your bird is now molting.
Probably.
Did Dellen hear like any of the party like vacate the tattooed turtle, or is Dellen still asleep?
He's still asleep.
Okay,
We needed him to get his beauty rest.
it's important.
If everybody's, is the common room like open for us to sit in, or have they like?
Yeah, no, it was still
Okay.
open. Dent was in there, so basically, V10 had agreed that just don't try to grab anything from the kitchen and don't make a mess of the place. But like Dent was welcome to sit there. So
We walk in and there's just all tables are upturned and Dent is just like fucked with everything.
Chilling.
No, but there is a bowl of pineapple.
Always.
Of course, always.
Perpetually following us. Ghostly.
Pineapples
floating.
and cats.
So, Minnow, what happened?
And I will send Finch off my hand and slam the locket on the counter and say, "This fucking happened."
Ooh.
And
got-
just like sit down really heavy.
Is that your locket?
Somebody came and attacked you and gave you something? That seems out. Were you wanting us to find them to thank them?
Nero,
Yeah,
as always,
jewelry?
the power of your deduction skills astounds me. Is there a bartender? Is there like
no, this is not an
is-
all-night bar. No, it's
can I just reach over the bar and grab a bottle of something? And
you certainly can.
all right, I'm gonna pour myself a drink of whatever I put my hand on, and I will put the bottle back with a piece of gold next to it.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you were going to say in it. And I'm like,
Plop. And whatever, like whiskey, whatever it is I grabbed, like I poured myself a nice fucking pour. Minnow's unhappy. And coping well, apparently. I'm just straight to alcohol. And she will down like a big gulp of it. I told you about this, didn't I? After we fought the will-o-wisps.
You did.
Yeah, you mentioned that you had a locket, but why here and now?
I wish I knew. They were outside the room. They knew where we were. They were outside my window, taunting me with it. I don't think I was supposed to get it back. I mean, who even knows? I don't know if they know that I got it back, because I think I was pretty careful with it. But having the locket back is a small peace of mind compared to whoever these people are and whatever it is they want. It's not about this. And I like pick up the locket and kind of dangle it, and it's like jumping around. Like she clearly hates this thing a lot. Tosses it back on the counter. It's about, I mean, like did they bow to me? It looked like maybe they bowed to me before they fucking disappeared into thin air. And she slams back the rest of the whiskey.
They sound like a pretty cocky asshole to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
cocky
would've
asshole who
seen-
once threatened my fucking spouse.
I would have seen whether or not that person bowed because I was watching at that point. Can I?
yeah, you could
Discern
confirm.
any
It looked
kind
very
of
much like a,
attitude?
and thank you, and away. It was sort of the, and a good night.
I said goodnight, sir.
I said good night.
So, okay, so you're gonna have to slow it down just a little bit. Still kind of tired. And apparently they're flying bad guys. What exactly is the deal with the locket?
Okay, so once upon a time,
Ooh, story time.
story time for Nero. Caligula, everybody sit down and listen. Minnow is
Gather
a
round,
little
children.
tipsy. Yeah, this is a lot of whiskey to down in a single fucking sitting.
Like
it's
after
not-
midnight too,
yeah,
so you haven't
yeah.
eaten for a bit. Yeah.
No, not fully sober. Also, not a big drinker. This is not Minnow's like. This is not. Yeah, this is very unhealthy for her.
Dent is beyond giddy though that he's getting a story from Minnow. Like this is great for. Well, he thinks it's great.
Yeah, so just as a quick Galway, please feel free to step in and help me with details, because we talked, not wrote this down, we talked about this a long ass time ago, and some of us have ADHD and audio processing and short-term memory problems, and that would be me. So I'm going to do my best with what we decided, and you can be like, oh wait, that wasn't it. Okay, so once upon a time, Minnow was a fucking moron and decided to get herself involved in organized crime, which I think you knew. And this locket came from pretty much my last job, because I thought it was a simple thing. I thought it was the usual racket, well within my skill set, and it fucking wasn't. And things went sideways, and I ended up with this fucking locket, and it's basically, it's essentially, I mean, to use an anachronism, it's a smoking gun. Like, people could fucking connect me to what happened there, and that night, if they found this, they could connect Arden to it, Arden being Minnow's spouse. There's no safe way to pawn it. There's no safe way to get rid of it. I should have just fucking buried the thing in a ditch somewhere. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking keeping it all these years.
Couldn't you just take it to a smith to have it melted down? Or we have one with us here. You could make it into something else if you wanted to. She could make it into like a neat clasp that
Yeah.
Finch could wear, or
That sounds so nice. I will toss
Or
it
an
to
arrow.
Teresa. I'm not convinced that melting it down is going to be as simple as
Does it look
sounds.
magic? With my detect magic up?
Oh, hello. That's
That
a
is what you
no.
get back.
It barks at me.
It does look slightly magical.
What type of magic? Or what school of magic?
Illusion. There. I'm like, with the schools of magic, it's like, okay, one person will call it
Okay,
illusion, one will be deception.
I don't know what the different schools are, so I asked, and I was like, somebody else will get information from this information, and it's not me, but it'll
It's
be
like,
helpful.
you know, like-
Meanwhile, Elise is like, interesting illusion magic.
Yeah, exactly. I never
The big
play
fucking
magical
nerd
shit.
over here
so.
is like,
So I would tell Minnow. So it definitely looks like it has illusion magic on it. I don't know if that means it's disguising something. I'm not very magical.
I can cast Identify on it, and
please.
Oh, that's smart.
I've been really wanting to put Ed to the test, and he's like really good with magic.
Is that the bomb
sure
in
am,
your
buddy.
head?
Yes, I think.
I wrote down that I thought that you had a bomb in your head because you called him the bomb.
Oh, he is the bomb. He's
And
he's
so
the
now
bomb.
Nero thinks he's a bomb in your head.
See, I thought now you just said mom. I have the mom in my head.
That would be me.
No. Yeah.
I also must reaffirm again, buddy, that I am not a bomb. Do not know what your meat space friend is talking about.
Yeah, that's a turn of phrase, Ed. Thanks, though. Hey, so my friend here has this locket, and we've determined it's some kind of illusion magic. Any chance you might be able to help us, piece together a bit of this very locket-shaped puzzle? And as I say that, I will go ahead and well, I can't roll an Arcana check with the +7. It would just be +2 for me. So we have to
You
add
could roll a
5.
d20.
Have to add
Roll a
5 to this.
d20
Sure.
and then he could just add 7.
Oh, add 5 to an 18.
23.
Yeah.
I don't
Why
see
has
your
that
roll.
roll not appeared?
It's in chat for me. It says 18 and
Hasn't appeared for me either.
Yeah.
I'm
for
willing
any
to
of us.
believe you, but I'm just
Right.
It was so weird to me, like add 5 to an 18, and I'm like, why that
There we
number
go.
in
There it is. Came
particular?
up.
Yeah.
It's an 18.
Okay, yeah. 20. So 23. So yeah, Ed will be like, "Oh, sure thing, buddy. Yeah, that's kind of weird there. It doesn't look like it's the object itself that's magical, so to speak, but there is some magic on it. Don't really recognize it though. And I'm sure it looks fetching on whoever it is, whosever it is. Anything
right,
else I
so
can
I'll-
help you with?
basically, I'm sorry, it wasn't as insightful as I was necessarily hoping for, but he confirmed Nero's suspicions.
They weren't really suspicions because I can actually see magic. It's part of a racial trait.
But I was fair enough.
were
I was
more
also
like
told
Nero's
that it looks
act.
fetching.
I have a
On
question.
Minnow.
What
I
is-
also did have that suspicion, so it did confirm that one.
when I open the locket, what is inside it?
What was inside it was a small, just sort of engraved, and this is where you can tell we talked about it instead of writing this down. It's essentially just like a romantic sentiment or something that was written between
Okay.
the two, and that's part of what identified it, along with the fact that it's, while not incredibly expensive, as you could see at Ressa, it's very, it's unique craftsmanship. So that like it would stand out as a, oh, that is very definitely, this isn't just a sort of off the shelf knickknack or anything.
Would I have any
And-
insight into the craft person that made it?
You would know that probably like the school of crafting. You couldn't be sure exactly how old it is, but it's a crafter here in Tormenryle, like a shop
Okay.
that would be that style.
Ed
And when
did
it's
say
open,
that it
is
was
there
a
any-
very. Oh, sorry.
Okay. When it's open, is there any change in the magic that you could see, Nero? When it's open?
Sorry, just suddenly Rachel face right there. No, it does not appear to affect the magic.
Okay.
And when it's open,
No.
Minnow just glances. It's still the same inscription. There's no change to what's inside the
Correct.
locket,
Looks
right?
just like it always has.
Okay. Then Minnow is going to ignore the proceedings and pour herself another drink from that bottle.
So Ressa
And I'll
said
ritual
she
craft
could
identify.
identify it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
But I will
Ed
ritual.
did say that it's a very strange illusory magic that he wasn't quite able to make out, but he seemed pretty confident that it was very odd.
While this is going on, Minnow is going to catch his eyes and just shake the bottle at him, like
Oh yeah. Catch me
pour
right
him a
over.
drink.
You're,
Slide it over.
you're gonna make
What
the
is-
bottle wiggle.
Yeah. I'll put a second gold back with the bottle this time.
Very good.
How expensive are your drinks that like one sip or one glass of whiskey costs a gold?
Listen,
Ooh,
I've bought
you-
expensive bottles of whiskey in my life.
I haven't, so I
have no fucking
basis.
idea but I feel bad for just like going
No,
behind
that's
the,
fair. I was just being
hands back.
stupid.
Like, yeah.
I'm
so,
glad that you're paying them.
I'm paying extra for my,
So-
but yeah, Minnow doesn't care. So yeah, she'll pour a nice drink for Catch and slide it to Catch.
Interesting. I was looking up. So yeah, you cast Identify. I was looking up the Identify spell to see how it phrased a couple of things. You know that the item was not created by magic. It was mundanely crafted. You know that it is not precisely a magic item, like in the sense of like the cat's meow ring, where you could use it and there's abilities and there's an effect. You know that there is magic affecting it. And the way that this, just as a note, you learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. I'm trying to read the spirit of that rule. The item has begun to be affected by a spell, but the spell has not completed.
Oh.
That's why, like, Ed has apparently referenced that the magic is kind of faint and weird. That makes sense to you because it feels like half a spell has been put on this, and it's sticking around. Which, like, you don't know a way that you could, cast alter appearance halfway and have it just stay up. But that seems to be what's happening right now.
Can she see what the spell is or not?
No, she also knows that it's illusion magic, but because of its sort of incompleteness, she's not sure what it is.
Okay.
Do you say that to us?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Somewhat drunkenly, Minnow will hold her hand out for the locket.
I'll give it back.
She puts it on. Any change? Does wearing the locket activate something?
Not apparently.
You look fetching.
She like very like a very like nasty kind of laugh, like not nasty directed at Dent, but more at herself. She takes it off and slides it back to Ressa.
So I just wanted to give you some pointers on your storytelling, because there wasn't really a whole lot of details. Generally, you like to flesh out the things that happen.
Feet go up on the bar,
and kind
Minnow
of
is just like, please, by all means, tell me about my storytelling, Nero.
I will. You said things went sideways, but I feel like you could really draw that out. Like, was there?
Oh yeah,
were
you
there
want me to tell you about the
explosions?
specifics of the worst night of my life? Is that what you want me? You want me to go ahead and explain in detail about all the things that went wrong, and that changed my life for the worst, and that fucked everything. You know what? Good night. And she just like sets the bar on the counter and kind of stumbles a bit to the stairs and goes back to her room.
Nero does not understand why you're mad. Legitimately, he was like, yeah, I would love for you to tell me the details of the worst night of your life. I feel like that would bring us together as people.
She's
But
pretty
that's fair.
frustrated.
At
Okay.
me?
No, I think she's frustrated with not having found the person and not understanding what's happening here, who that person is. So.
I actually think she just might have had a little too much whiskey.
Nero's gonna just... Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say really quickly, I'm just gonna... Nero feels bad, and just like, since Ressa said that she's very upset that she didn't find the person, Nero's gonna go outside for a while and just try and find tracks again. Use detect magic, maybe do survival checks or something. Just try and... He'll be lighting up his hands a bit and trying to make it so he can see, and he's gonna spend some time trying to see, like maybe go up on the rooftops, even see if he like where the guy was supposedly standing, and see if he could see any tracks or anything like that, because he feels really
Sure.
like... Yeah.
Just as and we'll play this out over time, but give me 2 survival rolls and a perception roll. And then, so you've headed out to do that. Would the other 3 of you like to do anything else, or is the party
I was gonna say
over?
I would follow along probably.
Uh-oh.
Just so he's not alone.
Oh,
Well,
Oh my
one of my
God.
survival rolls is
You
great,
Jinxed it.
and then I've gotten 2 nat 1s for a survival and for a perception.
Oh no. Okay, we'll deal with that in a second.
What is happening?
It's all gone wrong.
I used all of the good
Elise
luck.
took it all at the beginning.
I took
she
it
just
all.
took it all.
So Catch and Dent, what would you get up to?
So, while we're kind of just letting Minnow, sober up or sleep or whatever, Dent would say, all right, well, obviously I'm not going back to bed, but if I hear or see anything, of course I'll let you guys know, but the way I view it at this point is we have two, possible things we can do. We can stay here and wait for this guy to show up again, or we can just press onward and try to figure out what's happening with Minnow and the locket and this other person when we really have the time. I feel like we don't want to get too sidetracked right now, when we already have quite the building laundry list of things that we need to be doing here in Tormenryle. But you all still probably need to finish your long rest.
Coming from Dent, telling us not to get sidetracked.
Right?
Mhm.
Ed is like doing
But
you
see,
some
but
good.
see, really, if this all works out, then it puts Dent on the water, and
Oh, yeah. So it's not unselfish.
So yeah, so basically, he's arguing for a position where he gets to a fishing village faster.
Well, Etch definitely is not going to let Nero just kind of like go out all by himself. So I will finish the drink that Minnow graciously poured me, and then I will step outside just to kind of see what Nero is doing.
I feel like the party is now like, okay, can we mitigate the two fumbles that we know are somewhere in the offing? Very good. So,
what I would just say is I would probably stand guard near Minnow's room.
So yeah, you could actually sort of get up at the top of the staircase, and it's between all of your rooms there, and that would be a good place to keep watch. Cool. So that's what you're doing. Nero, you go out and you think you found some tracks for a second, and you kind of are following them along, and then you essentially bump into a porter. Like there's just someone moving a barrow of stuff whose tracks you were following.
Did you give the locket to Minnow?
No. Nero, is that you?
Insight check. Oh, is this somebody I know? Of course.
Why
it
are
is.
you out wandering? It's very late.
Somebody was jumping rooftops and antagonizing my friend.
Oh,
Have you seen anybody, Steve?
you and your two friends, I think, coming up behind you, and that's about it. A couple of guard patrols.
Thanks. Say hi to the kids.
Sure, kids. Sort of goes back to pushing the barrow, and yeah, that we will count the following a person who was like only like 15 feet in front of you for quite a while, and then literally bumping into them as your fumbles. You all aren't
Accurate.
finding anything. Minnow, you sort of you've stomped your way back up to the room. You sort of push the door open, slam it closed behind you, flop onto the bed. You know, you're not even like bothering to sort of take your cloak off or anything. As your head hits the pillow, you crinkle.
She's so mad. She's so mad. Is Ressa's following, right? Like it's a fairly. I think Minnow she knows perfectly well what's happened, and she's just gonna lay there for a minute, looking at the ceiling, just like. Like just deep breathing, trying, and like, yeah, is not gonna look at that yet.
Okay. Ressa was helping, was not allowing Nero to go alone, I believe.
Right. But
Okay.
if the others were also following, I probably would have turned around then and gone back.
Yeah.
To-
So you get into
so that Minnow wouldn't-
we'll say you get into the room. Perhaps the deep breathing has stopped, but like Minnow is very much in a I'm not sleeping posture. I am looking straight at the ceiling.
Yeah, stiff as a board, staring at the ceiling, just at her face, so angry. Without looking, she'll just be like, Ressa, there's a fucking note on my pillow, and I need you to look at it because I can't.
I will look at it. So I'll go over and take the
Sort of
note.
She'll lift her head a little drunken, like too far, and then back.
And there is a pillow note now in your journal, Ressa.
A pillow note. Ooh.
Is it like a Dear John letter?
Pillow
Don't say
note.
that. Minnow's actually married. It could be.
It's a Dear Steve letter.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, would you like me to read it to you or to paraphrase it to you?
Read it.
How about I paraphrase
Read
the
it.
parts of it?
Read it.
Read it.
Minnow, being the one in the room, will say,
Yeah, no, this isn't Nero. This is Rachel.
paraphrase it.
Okay. There are some congratulations, I believe, on getting the lock back. Be careful. Lots of people are looking at you. They say they'll be speaking with you soon, but that we should go ahead and go to the island, attend to our errand there. We are also told to look for the sign of the drum and bell. And
Drum and bell. That's the fucking silent people, because they make things that should make noise and they don't make noise, right?
yep, it certainly
Drunk
could be.
Minnow.
I will
And,
fucking kill these people. Is this how they think that they're gonna get me to help them? This is what are they just recruiting us like everybody else is recruiting
Well,
us?
I
The
love
last-
Drunk Minnow.
I know. The last bit does say that there might be something useful when we find the sign of the drum and bell. So
Yeah, something useful like a person to fucking stab with my sword.
that would be very useful for your anger.
Nero's voice in the back of your head just says, "Would it?"
God, now
Fuck
I'm
off,
picturing Minnow
Nero.
drunkenly hallucinating Nero.
Drunk Minnow hallucinating Nero.
Oh God.
Do you
Like-
still have the locket?
I do, and you know what I would like to do? I would like to create a double of it. If you're thinking that people might want to, if they're going to come and get it back, or
I don't
I can
think
give you a
this
double.
was ever about wouldn't the double just still get me and Arden in trouble if it looks the same?
Probably, but I mean, I was thinking if you were thinking they were going to come and get it back, but if you don't think it's in play anymore, then I wouldn't.
I think that it's still dangerous, but I think having two of them is just more chances for it to fall into the wrong hands, right?
Yeah.
Because even a counterfeit version of it could get me thrown in jail. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we should
It just
she'll take the locket, and
Sure.
I know she is drunk, but she would like to do an investigation on it to see if she can like activate something. Like now that she knows there's magic on it, is there like a little hidden button to push or something
Sure,
like it's like
give me an investigation
just
check.
sit there and fiddle with it until. Oh damn!
Oh, wow.
This is like Sam Riegel style of like, now that my character is drunk, I know kung fu.
Fuck. How did I just get double fails and you just got?
Right?
I've absorbed all of the luck
Guys,
for the night.
all I know is Ketch and Nero better look up and see light shine out of the window.
Right. Ugh, ridiculous.
Okay, that is a
Need good for you.
double crit for investigation by the very drunk Minnow, who I was like, does this justify disadvantage?
It's because
You're like, yeah, is there a disadvantage? Yes, there is. Oh, look, it's still
Oh,
a
no.
great
I think it's because her vision is doubling that she like notices like
She couldn't find it before because she wasn't drunk when she tried.
There
You're
you go.
looking through this and you're
You're looking through.
Because her eyes won't focus on it. And she's like,
You're drunk enough that you're almost having to investigate this thing from memory, because you looked at this a lot, trying to figure out, was there anything special about this? So you've spent a lot of time investigating this thing. And because of that, you notice a small marring on the surface that wasn't there before. Like, you would almost maybe think it was part of the pattern if you were just looking at it, but because you're so only thinking about how it used to look and feel, etc., you zero in on it.
before you tell me anything about it, I just want to say that she would immediately be like, Ressa, you scratched it.
Nope, did not.
Oh, okay.
I just
Carry
want to
on.
say, well,
No.
never mind. No.
Sam.
You've already said it.
I did, but I didn't do it for the podcast.
Go ahead.
Minnow has 20/20 vision, everyone.
Ah.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, is there anything else I noticed about this now that I know that
That's about all that you can get from it. You could communicate that is there, and perhaps if you're more, you will, let me put it this way, you will remember where that is when you're more sober and there's more light.
okay. I would hand it back to Ressa and say, and I think that scratch is new, and then just face first into my pillow.
And would I be able to tell anything about the scratch if it was deliberate?
So
not
you kind of
deliberate?
like leave Minnow, who is now like face down, snoring on her pillow. And you sort of go back over to your side of the room and like look at it slightly in the light from the window, even though it's not a lot, and you maybe even like light a small lantern or something and just look for a minute. And it takes you a minute, and actually you have to sort of get out some of your jeweler's supplies. It is an immensely finely carved rune. And as you look at it, it's a dwarvish rune for its meanings like to hide or to secret or to
Okay.
something like that. And as you now sort of investigate it, you kind of wonder if this is causing a slight concentration in the magic, that maybe this is the source of it. And that now makes almost a little more sense to you, because just looking at the magical effect, it was weird as hell to have a spell be halfway done.
Right.
But it makes a lot of sense if it's dwarvish runic magic. It's not all the runes aren't there, so it doesn't have a full effect yet.
Okay. And would I know what spell that rune is part of? So I'd be
Give me a
able
quick
to
Arcana
maybe...
check.
Aha.
And yes, we are getting close to a break. I realized that I just context-free answered you in the Discord. I'm probably confused everyone else.
Oh, nope, Arcana. Come on.
18. You don't. That is not super surprising to you, because this isn't a type of magic that you especially focus on. It would make sense that it's something to do with illusion magic, hiding, secreting
Okay.
something. But it does give you, I would say, it gives you a point that you could begin researching. Certainly.
Cool.
You would know how to look something like this up.
Okay.
And I would say with that, any searches going on outside are probably unsuccessful. Dent is sort of keeping watch. Ressa, you probably with that jot down some notes and maybe even head to bed. Minnow is all the way fucking asleep. slash just
Badger of the
unconscious. I'm
window
not sure if
dragon.
sleep is the right word. Minnow is
Yeah,
unconscious.
unconscious and bad dreams.
Yes. But yeah, the rest of the night will pass uneventfully, and let's take a quick break here. Maybe take. Rachel, did you have something?
No, I was just making an excited face. And
Oh,
it
okay.
also
I just
looked
saw you were like
I
a-
want to talk face, and
Well, that's Nero's I want to talk face.
Yeah, so let's take like a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 9 p.m. Mountain. But yeah, everybody get up, stretch your legs, maybe grab a snack. That's what I'm going to go do. And
Manage
we will
your
be
fluids.
back in just a little bit.
Yay.
Pineapples.
No. Hello, everyone. There we go. Because, see, I get distracted and I realize what this
Didn't
is.
get my pineapples?
No.
Ah.
I said it so I can talk to you all while we're on break so that I'm not on push to talk on Discord. And then I just get used to not pushing to talk, but I'm still on push to talk on Streamlabs. Which is why the intro required 2 passes. And Lena just is shouting pineapples repeatedly in the chat. So, in the first half, the group reviewed what had happened. Minnow tried to deal with a visitor. It went...
And her feelings.
And her feelings. It went...
Both went badly.
It went better if you were just focused on dealing with the visitor. When you throw the feelings in, it was a bit of a rough encounter. The highest challenge rating of all is our feelings. And Rachel's gone and Rachel's back.
Rachel had pretzels stuck in her teeth and didn't think you wanted to actively watch her pick them out, so.
Rachel's correct. And appreciated.
Yeah. Got you guys all in mind. It's good.
While you were picking the pretzel out of your However, Minnow was able to reobtain the locket that had been stolen from her house at this point, several weeks previously. And the group...
Is that with time fuckery, or is that not including time fuckery?
The time fuckery, like, adds a week. So,
okay.
Maybe. Speaking of things we were kind of vague on when we were talking about, exact timeline of when Arden noticed someone was in your house. So, hand waving. It's fine. It was before everyone disappeared from Amberheart. But the group proceeded to, well, Minnow drunkenly headed back to bed. Nero, in an attempt to be helpful, headed back out to the streets. Didn't go great. Ressa, in an attempt to be helpful, first went to help Nero, then diverted to go try to help Minnow, where she discovered Minnow had laid down on a note that was on her pillow. She paraphrased the contents of that note to Minnow, who did not desire any more details, and this fury combined with the, like, I don't know, 8 fingers of whiskey that Minnow had just put down in the space of, like, she said big glass twice.
Yeah, I would say that the first pour was easily a 4-finger pour. I think the second one, bad decision making with that much alcohol in you. It might have been the same
that's
pour.
after 4 fingers. So you went for 2, got 3.
The second one you poured for catch as well, so you definitely poured catch.
I used a lot of that liquor bottle, and will definitely consider leaving an extra gold in the morning.
So I'm sorry, I'm looking at Twitch chat, which is often a mistake in our Twitch streams if you're trying to maintain content thoughts. In the sort of combination of fury and inebriation, Minnow proceeded to investigate this locket that she'd looked at dozens of times before, but never like this, or exactly like this, or something she doesn't know. She's drunk, fuck you all. And proceeded to double crit in order to find that there was a small rune actually now etched on it. She didn't actually find that. She just thought that Ressa had scratched the locket, but accepted when Ressa told her that she had in fact not scratched the locket, and that Minnow was drunk. She passed out, giving the locket back.
Asleep. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she passed out, giving the locket back to Ressa, who investigated and discovered that there was in fact a small dwarvish rune for the words, like for the word hidden or secret, something in that meaning. Runes on their own sort of have a network of meanings that they could be, and that this seemed like runic magic, but it wasn't complete. But this gives her a lead as to what the hell was going on with the locket, which was slightly magical in a way that was a little bit surprising to everybody. The group then got their long rest in, so you have recovered any spent spell slots, any missing HP, half of your hit dice rounded up, though I don't think you've spent any hit dice. So you have all of those good benefits, and it is now the morning. Today, at some point, the time was not specified, Inahani, leader of the Pineapples, is going to be coming and speaking with you again, at the very least, to give you the map of smugglers' tunnels that she had promised you. And you also might be hoping for an update from Bardir, the lizard folk merchant, who had promised you a ship, if that was what you needed, because you thought that the answer to where his daughter might have to be tied to Moontree Island. But yeah, it is the morning. You are in your rooms. Nero, as you wake up, you sort of stretch and look over. Where Ketch is lying in bed, it's basically just a pile of cats, and you can see that the window is slightly open.
Shit.
Whoa, that looks really comfortable. Catch.
Mm.
All right, cats. I'm gonna totally try and talk to the cats in my speech of beast and leaf. And I'm gonna be like, right, cats. I think that we need to leave now. It's time to move. Goodbye.
They just sort of hunker down the way that cats do if they know you're coming to pick them up from something they want. They're just like...
Okay, I'm gonna look at the one that's over Ketch's mouth and I'm gonna say to it, I'm gonna pick you up now. And I just reach down. You don't scare me, cat.
I swear to God, if that cat claws my face.
Oh, it will. And I pick it up.
As you do, it sort of latches on to the back of Ketch's ears and chin. Just like, hold on.
Catch? Catch, do you need help? Should I light a fire? Is that how you get rid of a cat?
Okay, so I know that we talked about Nero got more comfortable with fire. That might be a little far.
Not them on fire, just maybe
Just casual arson.
I'll just light my hands on fire and it'll be like a Frankenstein situation where they're like, ah, and they all go away.
Water!
Water's not my element. I don't think I can just make that. Oh, right. I can.
Particularly tasty looking fish.
You're not in our bedroom.
Did Rachel
I
just
lost
freeze
Rachel.
for everybody else?
Oh no!
Skepticism is immortalized.
Classic. Just peek.
You're not in our room.
So here's how we're gonna play this. There is a jug of water by the bed, and Den,
window
you do
open.
hear muffled commotion coming from Nero and Ketch's room. And as you kind of push open the door, trying to make sure, you're just in time to see Nero toss a jug of water sort of at Ketch's bed, followed by the explosion of cats in every direction. And I would assume a lot of swearing from Ketch, who's just getting scrapped all to hell. And we're just going to assume that Nero is following along with the rest of you as you all proceed to make decisions as a group until Rachel comes back.
I think Rachel just messaged us.
I did. Sorry, I was asking. I was gonna see if she would send a message and
An update?
yeah. This face says it all. I think.
I just love that blurry face of.
I took a screenshot.
Good. Thank you. I will be making a new emote in the Discord out of this.
Oh, there she goes.
Does, I guess Den, would head back down into the, main, bar area of the Tattooed Turtle. Inahani isn't by chance they're waiting for us, are they?
Inahani is there. She doesn't appear to be waiting for you. She's waiting tables. She's just wandering around, like, serving people, like, breakfast.
Okay.
Does she even fucking work there? Or does she just stroll up, grab an apron and a tray, and just be like,
That's what I
bitch.
figured.
Minnow wants to ask that question of Viton but I don't know if Minnow's awake yet.
I think that Minnow is probably awake because Minnow has been awoken by the sound from down the hall of splash. Son of a bitch!
Cats! Do we need to have a talk about this?
Then with she's just so over everything today. I think Minnow's gonna go straight to the find Viton. Is Viton there?
Yeah, he's behind the bar.
And just point at Inahani and be like, "What the fuck?"
We just hired her today.
Oh,
She was really helpful last night.
You just hired her. I left you some fucking money for the whiskey. Was it enough? I'm sorry.
Oh, it was. Don't worry about it.
Great. I really don't like doing that, and I feel bad that I took it without your permission, so I'm sorry.
If you did, it was probably... I heard a bit of commotion, and I figured it's probably justified. Don't worry.
Great. You should fire her. She's not trustworthy.
I run a tavern by the docks in Tornarail.
I mean,
Viton,
I fence
there's
items without asking questions.
Ugh. Okay.
Trustworthy, maybe not my first
Yeah,
hiring
but this is
procedure.
it's just okay. She's not sticking around. You have to understand this is not a permanent solution for your labor problems.
What is? What is?
Yeah, maybe I'll just move here and start another new life as a barmaid. Why the fuck not? I could do that.
I feel like there's context I'm missing for this conversation, so I'm
Can I
gonna
have-
go back to getting some breakfast ready for people, but you have a
Great.
good day, Minnow.
Bye, Viton.
Would
I
Ressa know?
just want to say I really like Viton's voice.
Nice.
Would Ressa know if lesser restoration would heal a hangover?
That's so sweet.
I would argue that it's a poisoned effect.
Yeah, actually, no. I would argue that, yeah, this is essentially the lingering effect of a poison, and it's not like a deadly immediate condition in the way that, like, you might require a greater restoration. So, yeah, I would say that in your experience, lesser restoration at least helps mitigate the effects.
I will cast that on Minnow.
You feel much better, Minnow.
Oh, thank you, Ressa. Wow, that is better than pineapples or greasy food or hair of the dog.
I figured you
Has-
needed it.
Has Dylan awoke yet?
Yeah, he's come downstairs with the rest of you.
Hey, Dylan.
Why is she still here? Sort of circling behind you.
Yeah, apparently she works here now. It's a bit of a massive drop to go from where she was to this, but who knows? Do you happen to know anything about dwarven runes?
Something? Not especially my particular field of expertise, but
I imagine on your on Moontree Isle you would probably have some in your your place's library or something, right?
yes, my friend who specializes in enchantments and artifacts probably has a collection on them. The dwarves often use runes to imbue items with magic.
Okay, gonna put that on a note and stick it in my back pocket.
You don't have
Ressa, can I
pockets.
see that note now?
Sure, and I will hand it over to her. And then you could ask Ed about dwarven runes. See if he knows anything.
It's now in your journal.
Miss odd text. Oh, is this the code? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing in my journal was was the note from last night, the pillow note.
Yeah. Hey Ed. So turns out that there was a dwarven rune inscribed onto that locket. Anything we might be able to glean from that?
Processing, buddy. Processing.
And I could draw it out larger if you needed to see it.
I seem to be having a little bit of trouble accessing some of my memory storage, buddy, but what I can get back is that dwarves often used runes to inscribe them onto objects, granting them magical properties. However, it's very important the exact order and implementation of these runes, otherwise the magic can go catastrophically wrong. Would you like to see memory replays of incidents where it went horrifically wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Visions of just like buildings on fire and snowing inside a building begin filling your head.
So I was present for this?
No, these are coming from my memory collectives, buddy.
Okay. Good to know. We'll be careful.
I would recommend it, or stay safely behind the meat bodies.
Got it. Do we have any updates from
Restarting internet was the
Rachel?
last thing we heard from Rachel.
Okay. Do we want to speak to Inahani in private? I
sure
don't say
she'll
that to Dylan.
make her way to us when she's ready.
When she catches your eye, flashes a smile at you, and nods towards like a booth in the back corner. She's like, "Be right with you." Happily goes over, like pops a plate. Table.
Great. Minnow goes over and sits in the booth, very
I'll
unhappily.
follow.
Den warns Dylan what's about to happen and makes his way over.
Dylan's like, "I think I might stay with Nero, who's talking to that person that he seems to think is named Steve. I don't know if that man's name is actually Steve. He seems very confused, but he's moved to the phase of just nodding that I've noticed a lot of people hit with Nero. I might find that easier."
You know, that's probably for the best. We'll let you know what happens. And then I take a seat across from the table from Reza and Minnow.
Ketch looks like shit. And he's got scratches on his cheeks. There's like fur, there's some fur missing back here where the one cat dug in, and then just like everywhere else is just like I'm covered in water and matted cat hair. And I don't look happy, but I walk over and I refuse to sit in the booth. I grab a chair and I do one of those like flip it backwards and I straddle it and I just sit there.
Oh, Catch. What happened?
To hold up my hand with that ring and be like, I'm seriously reconsidering some life choices.
I can help you with that if you want.
You can?
I can. I could remove curse.
It's a curse?
It's a curse. I mean, you've done
President,
well with it.
You gave me a cursed ring?
It's not an evil, terrible curse. You've deployed cats as weapons.
Have you ever been almost suffocated by 100 cats?
No, and that I will admit, yeah, that's a little rough.
Upon hearing that I gave Ketch a cursed ring, like, Den just starts freaking out at the table. Like, oh my gosh, Ketch, and then like I start like checking your temperature, which doesn't work at all. What can I do? What can I do? And then I like grab my sword out of thin air and then just start like.
And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
What?
I promise.
Okay. What can you do? Do I
If
give
I
this to
remove
you?
curse, it'll break your attunement to it. And
then like no more cats all over me?
then no more cats all over you.
And then it's just a ring?
I don't think so. I don't think you'd be able to wear it. Would she be able to wear it then?
She wouldn't be able to use any of the abilities because those all trigger on. I mean, she'd be able to wear it, but she wouldn't have any of like the talk to cats, cat messenger, etc. abilities because those are all part of attunement to the ring.
If she chose to then attune to it later, would she be able to do that?
You think that the curse is probably going to persist on the item. Your remove curse is more going to make it possible to break free. And we have been joined in chat by connecting to camera.
Yes.
Just very good.
Yeah. You just hold on.
Wow, connecting to camera has an
Ketch,
attitude.
I will take the ring off and hand it to you.
Maybe this is something we could give to servant guy after you've removed the curse, of course.
Or, I mean, like, can we like?
You
use the
should be
curse-
able to, if you wanted to reattune to it,
Why?
you could. So you could turn off and on.
I can turn off and on.
Well, I can remove the curse, and that will break your attunement to it, so no more cats. But it doesn't take the curse off the ring, so if you chose to use it later,
Okay, so
But then you'd have to re-unattune
to
after
re-
you.
right.
this is a lot of tunement that I don't understand. Basically, what I'm getting is you can break the curse so the cats don't smother me in my sleep. But if I keep the ring on my person, are the cats still attracted to it?
That's a good question.
You would suspect that maybe very minimally, but nowhere near the level that they had been before, because like Ketch noticed the ring, but it wasn't like Ketch immediately jumped on Dent when Dent was holding the ring.
Right. Okay. So yeah, just minimally. They might notice you, but they certainly won't be smothering you in your sleep.
That would be nice.
Okay.
Let's do it. Do
I
what you
will
gotta
remove
do.
curse.
Okay.
So just so that I'm clear, if like once the remove curse has happened, even without attunement, Ketch would still be able to use like speak with cats. Okay,
No.
so there's
So
basically
So the abilities and the curse come when you attune to the item. The curse means that you can't de-attune to the item voluntarily the way you normally could, so you can never you can't get rid of that effect unless something like remove curse happens, which allows you to break the attunement voluntarily as you would have normally be able to, but you also lose the benefits of the ring.
I mean, honestly, like the curses seem to outweigh the benefits like 10-1.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain all I've ever been able to do is talk to a pretty snooty cat.
Which I can already do. I just don't know what they say back, but I'm sure it's nice things.
Yeah, maybe like unless someone's goal is death by kitty, I don't
I've
really.
tried that. They didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Insert obligatory presidential person reference here. Yeah, no.
We don't go down that road, Sam.
Why don't we take said ring? And I seriously think that Servant would appreciate this for his collection.
Okay,
that would-
so Catch will I will take off the ring. I will hand it to Ressa. Ressa does what Ressa does.
Are you calling him by a name that he didn't explicitly introduce himself to you as?
He's
I don't have my notes in front of me to tell you.
Niacilian.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Because also, I would have no idea who you were referring to, because I'm pretty sure you didn't tell any of us that that's what his name meant in Aquan.
I did. But okay.
I thought, no, the characters. You found out in the middle of, like, as nighttime happened and we were all asleep.
Yeah, and then we
Oh,
got
yeah.
started on Minnow's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
wasn't trying to be a dick. I would just be like, I don't know who you're talking about. Like,
But yeah,
Well,
you would
regardless-
remember the name Niacilian.
Yeah.
Which knows
Okay.
that Dent is very, very concerned about taking this ring to somebody who would appreciate it. So Catch will give it to Ressa for Ressa to do whatever it is Ressa's going to do, and then Catch will give it to Dent and be like, "Don't give me presents anymore."
Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
But like seriously, let's
no,
like
still
actually,
give me
like,
presents, but, make sure they're not terrible.
yeah, like no more curses, dude.
No more bad presents.
So,
Dent is just really confused as to how this ring would have ended up in that space under the church building and like all that stuff.
Churches are weird.
so as you sit there, Nero,
Especially
I had
time fuckery
or
churches.
Rachel, while you were not here, I had Dylan standing with you, sort of up by the bar where Nero was eagerly meeting someone that he had named at the very minimum Steve, and that Dylan did not want to take part in the conversation with Inahani that was going to occur. Inahani is just waiting tables.
Oh, okay.
Vitan hired her this morning.
I'm just hanging out with
But you can certainly
Dylan
move
and
over
Steve.
to the table if you want to and take part in the conversation. I just was trying to cover it while you weren't here.
That's totally fair. And no, I'm fine to catch up with Dylan a bit. I don't get to talk to him too often, so
You're currently wearing down this sailor who is now named Steve and has 3 children. Dylan is relatively sure that his name is not Steve and that he does not have children, but he kind of enjoys watching this process.
How old are your children? Are they toddlers or?
Sure, toddler. He's like
You
sort
have
of like,
3 toddlers? Are they triplets?
what would make you happy?
For you to tell me about your life, Steve. You seem like a cool fellow. Doesn't he, Dylan?
He looks to be almost crying at the moment. Perhaps he's overcome with joy about his triplets.
Maybe. Did you want to keep talking about your family? I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
He's just gonna be, I think I should just be. He's gonna sort of dazedly walk out of the bar.
Nice to meet you.
Steve. But yeah, over at the table, which Nero is perfectly free to come over and sit down at. Inahani's gonna come over, put down like a couple of plates with sort of
Pineapple.
broiled fish. Some slices of like bread and jam, and a plate of pineapple, which she like pointedly puts as far away from Ressa as she can. And then is just gonna sort of like put down some basically, flatware, silverware, which is on a piece of paper. Like napkins aren't really a thing, so
I love notes, and I take it.
I didn't know that about you.
You get so
Should
many
I write
notes.
you more notes?
Yeah.
I've been working on my cursive handwriting.
I can't wait to see it.
You're such a good friend, Minnow.
Thanks.
So much sarcasm.
Do you open the note?
No, I think. Well, I guess like I would kind of want to stealthily, in case it was the maps. Like I'm not
and
sure.
it does
if this is,
appear
like,
to be a
enough.
map, actually, as you open it. It doesn't have writing. It seems to like as you just sort of like it's sort of quarter folded over. If you sort of peel back one flap, you can see like it seems to be marking like here's a tunnel. You can see sort of an opening into a room. This looks like just a pretty standard map of some tunnels.
Okay, so like with knowing that that's kind of what I was anticipating it was going to be, I don't think Minnow would take the time to like openly study or anything in the open because don't want to draw attention to it. But just kind of nod to Inahani and pocket the maps.
She'll smile at you brightly and wander away.
Minnow definitely makes that face to her.
And as you make that face at Inahani's back, you can see the door swings open, and a lizard folk sort of ducks his head under the door frame to come in, and you sort of see him like. You're waving, Nero. And you're like, oh. And he'll walk forward. This is not Birdir. This lizard folk is taller and more athletically built, with blue scales. But he'll sort of bow and he's like, "My name is Draus. You are the one that Birdir spoke to, I believe."
I'm Nero. It's nice to meet you, Draus.
Draus, yes. The pleasure is mine. Birdir has arranged for a ship and a crew. It is ready to leave at any time, when you are. He is eager to be underway.
Dent is out the door.
Where did the large one is running? Why is there danger?
He really likes boats. He's very excited. Are you or I almost said Bordir. Are you or Birdir coming with us, or is it?
Yes, both of us will be coming with you.
Oh, okay. Sure, I didn't know that was in the plan. A distraught father is probably a great idea to have when looking for their missing daughter. That was sarcasm.
We might want to discourage
I'm not very
him.
good at it.
You are welcome to try. My brother and I attempted to do this, but he was not having any
Your
of
brother?
that.
Who's your brother?
Give me a second.
Minnow just starts like crying a little bit over her.
My brother will be captaining the vessel. Thimza is his name.
Thimza? Is your brother like you? A nice fella?
I was wondering where you were going with that. Like, what, a lizard folk? Probably.
It's not that fucking stupid.
He is a very pleasant man and a very competent sailor.
Great. All right. Well, how about... Is everybody else, I'm assuming, hearing this? So...
Yeah, he's just at the table talking to you all.
How about we get ready to head out, and maybe I can catch up with Dent, and then try and talk to Birdir to see if I convince him to not come with us. Does that seem good to everybody? Draus, can you can point me towards the ship. Dent, I guess, just has an innate knowledge of this.
I am not sure that this is the case. There are many ships at the docks at the moment.
Can you tell me which ship is ours?
Yes, the Mimic's Grin.
So how about I'll go there and you can lead my friends there behind us.
And the The big one? There are many docks.
Yes, I understand. I'm just gonna go. I'll see you there.
Oh.
And I just head straight out the door and try and catch up with Dent.
Okay, it's like, Dross will look at you all and goes, yes, the Birdier told me to tell you, the journey would normally be about 5 hours, but that's under ideal conditions, and with the luck we've been having right in the recent times, I would not expect it to be ideal conditions, so plan for 6.
One whole extra hour. Whew.
It's not
gonna be
that
more than
far.
that.
It's also a delta of 20% of the trip time. But he'll be like, is there anything else I can do? It's in the third slip to the northeast. The mimic screen.
You lead him there, I say as I run out the door.
I'll apparently wait here for the rest of you as
you
your
don't
2 big
have to wait
friends
here.
have-
We'll find you. Thank you.
Can I
okay.
catch up with Dent?
So you,
I have 15 extra feet on him.
so ahead of you, you hear clang, 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 clang.
No, it's clank, 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 clank because he's skipping.
Oh,
Of course.
oh no.
So you managed to catch up with him when he's like managed to sort of survey the first pier, or he's about to. You would know incidentally because you heard what Drow said. The pier you're looking for is the one up here. So if Dent turns left, he'll get there, soonish. But if he turns right and tries to go through the entire other sets of docks, it will take a very long time.
Can I catch up to him?
But yeah, you catch up to him as he's sort of like peering at each ship going along this like long dock.
Dent. And I'll just kind of reach out a hand on his metal shoulder.
Do you see him?
I do. Those aren't ours, though. But they're beautiful.
Yeah. What I was just gonna wait for you guys, and I started to see it. I got my pole.
You got excited. Yep. So here's what I'm gonna say, Dent. You can use your pole.
Oh, I will.
I'm gonna ask a favor. So I'll point the direction and tell him the name of the docks and the name of the ship and everything and where we're gonna be going. I would like to go alone to speak with Birdier and try to convince him to not come on our journey with us. So could you maybe take a leisurely fishing stroll to get to the boat? You could look at all the other boats as we walk there.
I could, but I think I know how to keep him from joining us. I think
Is it gonna be nice? If it's not nice.
Oh, I know exactly what to do. He's letting us use his boat. Like, how am I not gonna be nice to him? He's effectively taking me on a vacation.
He is, but Nero has a special relationship already with him, and Nero wants to talk to him alone. Can I ask you to just come 2 minutes after me? And then if my plea doesn't work, then you can give yours?
Sure.
Just 2 minutes. I don't know why I'm
Sure.
holding up my fucking fingers like you don't know what numbers are. This many. 1, 2. Okay, sorry. I mean, you can come and help. Would it make you feel better if you just came with me? I don't want to make you feel bad and like you're not included, Dent.
I mean, I just feel like I have a really good spell that I've been really wanting to use.
That makes me nervous in my insides, Dent.
But it'll be fine. Ed says it'll be fine. He won't take any damage.
The bomb in your head. Okay. Well, can I please Please, Dent. As a friend, can I try first?
Okay.
And then if it doesn't work, you can do your non-damaging spell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the spell information. It doesn't have anything about damage. I mean, he might suffer heartbreak, but you know.
So yeah, okay, we're in agreement. Me first. Thanks, Dent. I'm gonna go. Nero is very concerned now. Nero's like, why do you need magic when you just have the perfect, you could just talk and make relationships with each other. And it always works.
You're moving down this way. Are the rest of you just sort of gathering up your gear, presumably dense gear?
Nero doesn't have gear, so.
That's true. Nero doesn't really have gear. And like heading down to the docks then?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Nero, you get to the boat, and it's a sort of a mid-sized ship for the type that are on the lake. And you can see several lizard folk on the deck, sort of going through, readying it to make sail. And you're going by, and a lizard folk walks by you, carrying a large crate, and sort of bumps against you, and turns like, "Oh, my apologies." And it's Berdir, who is not dressed in any form of finery. He is dressed like a sailor, and is clearly just like sweating. Is like has been working up to this point. But yeah, you have found Berdir.
Is the daughter that's missing? Is that Asana? Is that his only child?
Yes.
I know I would have asked, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can kind of assume that when it comes to personal details that someone would readily share, Nero probably knows them.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to say, hi, Berdir.
You have made ready? The rest of your friends will be coming?
Yep, they're going to be behind me. We met Drouse, lovely guy. Told us all about his brother, Thimsa, and how he's going to be captaining the Mimic's Grin.
Yes.
And he said that you were coming on our travels with us.
That is correct. You must understand that very few people are willing to crew a ship going to the island that keeps getting shrouded in mist and emitting lights, and freak storms are coming out of nowhere. So
Yeah,
it was really the people who have lost someone, or who I could pay a great deal of money to.
I get that. But, as you said, it's a place of mist and lights and disappearances and things. And did I find out before if he had a partner or something like that?
I
Like
believe
a
he
romantic
mentioned
partner?
Having a partner.
Okay.
Yes, I think he did. He does have one. He does have one. So
Okay. I'm sure I would have asked. I know his whole family tree. So, we're going to look for Asana, and it's gonna be dangerous. If it's so dangerous that we're lost, that means that your partner is fully alone. That means that they have now lost not only a daughter, but a partner as well. And I understand your wanting to help us and how it must wrench at your heart for you to not do anything, but I feel like you would be much more of use to your family and to the people here.
do not understand. I went home and thought on what you said to me, Nero. I spoke with my wife. I spent most of my life working ships like these. As a sailor, as a captain. Only recently did I become a merchant. Only recently wealthy. And when my daughter disappeared, you told me that shame was useful, and I realized that my solution to it was to throw money at you. This is a thing that I do for myself and for these other men who have lost someone, who want to get someone back. My wife understands this too.
She's willing to possibly lose you as well?
She has also commented that at least I seemed inspired to do something again. I also left her with instructions to spend the money that we have acquired as you had suggested we do.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that you've had this inspiration and want to help and want to actually be a part of something. And I'm open to it, Berdier. I'm open to it. However, my worry comes from if we do find someone implicated in these things, we're not just going to kill them right away. I know that a lot of you must feel rage at the horrible loss that you currently feel, but we're not going to just kill them. We need to question them and find out information. There's so much more going on than just this, and I am worried about you seeing red when the time comes, and in your rage and in your sadness actually making it so that our mission fails.
If Asana is gone, allow me to say to you that if we find the person responsible and Asana is gone, they will die by my actions, but not before we find out anything that they could know that would help other people. Asana has been gone for days now. Others have just disappeared last night. If it takes some time, perhaps they are still safe. That is enough. But whoever it is, if my Asana is gone, will be gone by my hand.
Okay, as long as you can keep your head about you when we find him, because if you act hastily, then you might then be the reason that other people don't get their loved ones back. Are you willing to take on that burden?
Yes.
Okay. I'll talk to my compatriots and let them know what's going on, because
Thank
they
you.
were a bit nervous.
You see him sort of heft this large crate back up and start moving and loading it on the ship. He's like, we should be ready to make sail whenever you are ready. Yeah.
So
we'll
I'll
say,
just wait at down the bottom of the gangplank or whatever the fuck it is you do to get on ships.
and I would say probably, I'll ask Sam, would Dent be the next one to come along? Or do you get distracted by the ships?
Well, it wouldn't be the ships that would be distracting me. It would be the water. I mean, I would assume that since Nero hasn't come out and been like, all right, take your turn, that things had gone smoothly enough. And I guess I'm just waiting for everyone else to show up. And by that, I mean I'm fishing. And so, yeah.
All right, so the rest of you come up. Dross did, in fact, stay with you. He was gathering sort of last supplies from the tattooed turtle, and is leading you along the dock. You see a familiar hulking armored form sitting sort of on the quay, fishing off just the wall. He's like, this was your friend that first ran away. I do not see the second friend that ran. Your friends run away.
Down.
There's the second friend. Good.
And I'll walk over to them and kind of just, well, I guess I could do it in character voice. So, spoke with Berdier. Apparently, our conversation yesterday had a big impact on him, and how he hasn't been utilizing his vast wealth and privilege to actually be useful in a lot of ways, and he wants to change. And so here's a couple of points that I'll bring up is that one, couldn't find anybody else to man the ship because everybody's afraid. We do need people to actually do the ship work because I don't understand how ships work. I could probably learn, but it's probably safer to have people who know. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Two, he wants to be helpful and useful, and in this instance, and we had a very, I felt, productive conversation about how he can't step in and kill somebody or do anything ahead of time that might jeopardize us finding out information because it would ruin everything, and he seemed pretty sincere in his understanding of that. So I feel like we can trust him. I feel like he's got a lot at stake here and he's willing to work with us. And so I wanted to let you guys know what we talked about.
Did you cast insight?
Oh, I could have rolled insight, but I didn't even think about it because Nero kind of ignores his insight anyway, often.
Catch has. I have no. I don't.
Right.
Why is it even? I don't even care.
That's what I
Well,
like
it's-
about you, Ketch.
Once we get to Moontree, we can just leave the crew with the boat. We don't need them to come with us.
This is assuming the boat gets to Moontree Isle safely.
Hey, let's.
You're so optimistic. I like that about you, Minnow.
That's me in a nutshell. Miss Optimism.
Top 10 adjectives for Minnow Row. Optimistic.
Optimistic.
So, Dent, we can still keep that what we talked about in your back pocket, and we can maybe just feel it out. Is everybody okay with this? Ressa, I know that you were kind of feeling a little funky like me. Do you feel a little more reassured?
It's really his call. If he's not going to interfere, it's his decision.
So, are we getting going?
Yes, we'll get on the boat, and you can. Do you have your trolling line that you can set up behind the boat?
I've got all the trolling line.
All
Very
right,
good.
on the boat.
So you get on the ship. Yeah, so you let's cut you over to here.
Water.
You meet. Why are? Could you? Okay, well, I can see all the nameplates. For some reason, it's not displaying the nameplates to all of you. So yeah, you meet the crew. Drouse and Thimza are back here. The brothers, Berdir is up here. Yas and Dexel are a couple of the others who are there. And Varla, and all of these are lizard folk who live near, in the docks district. Primarily, they normally work for Berdir, and almost all of them have lost someone to the disappearances, with the exception of Varla, who has been sailing with this sort of parts of this crew for years now, and that's kind of why they're all there. You weigh anchor. You set out into the lake. The weather is calm. You're leaving still by relatively early in the morning. And yeah, you're just sort of sailing along. Is there anything you would like to do while you're on board the ship?
Yes.
One thing.
We don't have to act it out, but I would absolutely go around to every single lizard person and get the information about their missing loved ones,
Very good.
like one by one. So
Where is Dylan? Okay.
That one.
I would be teaching Dylan proper like casting technique, and whether or not he actually wants to like. These are things, as far as Den's concerned, he needs to know, and so I'm educating him in the ways of fishing.
Very good. So yeah, you're sitting there. Nero, you're able to get that information from the crew generally without any issues. Some of them are a little hesitant to talk about it, but they generally warm up to you after you've spoken to them for a couple minutes. Dent, you and Dylan are fishing Ressa, Ketch, and Minnow. Anything in particular?
I don't think so.
I gotta remember that Minnow isn't hungover.
Why is that?
Oh,
lesser
Did I miss
restoration.
thanks to Ressa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think Minnow is just sitting somewhere and very unhappy.
Okay. You're kind of sitting over here, sort of shaded by the bow deck. Yeah, the others, you two are staying back more where the helm is and sitting with the crew there. So yeah, it's going. The land behind you is fading into the distance. A couple hours in, the sea is beginning to get choppier, which is odd because there are no clouds. There's no discernible wind. At least more than that which is propelling you forward. The ship is a sailing ship. I just used the model that didn't have a sail because it obscures like 60% of the deck. And so this seems a little strange, and you notice the crew are sort of starting to get a little antsy.
Can I make a perception check to see if I see anything like under the water or strange, since they'd kind of mentioned big shadows and things like that?
Yeah.
Key.
9.
My rolls are such garbage.
This wasn't a fumble.
Sucked them all.
You don't see anything. You can see, though, that this isn't just the ship sort of moving more choppily. Like, the water is getting some chop, which, again, is weird. You don't see anything to cause this.
Are the waves, like, from a particular direction?
They seem to be moving towards you, so as if they were coming from Moontree.
Has the sky or anything changed? I mean, is it still pretty clear?
Yeah, there's minimal clouds, bright, sunny.
Oh, Dent, have you caught anything?
Go away.
What stat should fishing go off of?
Survival?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Because that's foraging for food. Yeah. Give me a survival check.
Interesting. I have proficiency in that.
I saw that one for a real long time. And I was like, oh no.
What? My, Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah. That's weird.
That time I saw you roll.
Yeah, it was looking weird on my screen for a second.
14. You are able to haul up a couple sort of smaller fish, but they're ones that you'd gotten before. You haven't gotten very far out into the lake, so they were still things that you were able to catch sort of from shore. Dylan has managed to catch one largish fish. It's the only thing he's caught, but he seems quite pleased.
look what Dylan caught. He caught a big one. And like I have him do the like I'm a kid with my first fish pose. He also has, so like I didn't tell you guys this, but of course Dent comes equipped with the standard fisherman's like vest, and he has like a spare one that he gave to Dylan. You don't know where he pulled these from, but he has them. Yeah, he's just so proud. He's like, it's like my son, except not.
So, Catch, I would like to step closer to the side of the boat and then just kind of look at the waves, because obviously the waves aren't affecting the fish if they are catching fish.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Nero, I had a thought.
Yes. Good for you.
Thank you.
Savage.
Can you speak to fish?
God.
Yes. Well, I can speak to them, but they can't speak to me.
Is the fish that you're holding the one that you want Nero to talk to?
Oh God.
Because I'll tell you what that fish is going to be saying. Oh God! No, God,
Excuse me, fish. Have you noticed, if you've noticed anything strange around here, blink your eyes twice.
So this fish, which has been sort of like flopping up until now, as you begin speaking to it, is going to sort of like stop and go very still.
May
and
I?
after, huh?
May I? Oh God! I'm sorry.
100% would if she could understand
I
it
could
back.
understand it, yep.
And as you get done, is still there, and then just begins furiously like redoubling its efforts.
What's it saying?
Well, like I said, I can't understand it, but it didn't blink twice, so there's probably nothing abnormal going on.
Fish can't blink.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I didn't think Dent knew that,
Nero does not know much about fish.
It was Heather's
He just thinks about how he usually interacts with animals, and those are the kinds of things that he tells them to do.
Deploy Jebediah.
So as this fish is now flailing for its life, suddenly there is a just deafening peal of thunder. And now around you, instantly, there is a storm.
Hey, this is kind of like yesterday, isn't it?
It is just bucketing down. The wind is whipping up. The waves are now crashing sort of over the deck of the ship, which is just getting tossed from side to side. This is treacherous footing at best. And could everyone give me a quick dex saving throw?
Am I still conscious?
Yes.
Okay.
Dex or strength saving throw to hold yourself upright. We're missing rescue. I was like, what am I missing? Okay. Minnow, you're barely able to hang on. You sort of like grab a rope almost because you're not going to stay up, but that keeps you standing. Ketch and Nero both react very quickly and brace themselves and are fine. Dent, you kind of slam against the railing on the side, but you're able to hang on. Ressa, you slip and fall. And sort of collapse to the deck. You see around you, actually, as you're laying down, you see like the lizard folk, the crew just suddenly bracing and looking from side to side, and like you hear like, "It is cursed! Quickly, quickly, quickly! Up sails!" And now they're springing into action and running. The sails are being threatened with being torn off the mast as it stands. So the ship is just whipping from side to side. Thimsa's doing everything he can to hold it on course. And Ketch and Nero, give me a quick perception check.
Guidance.
Oh, nice. Thank you. To whom? Oh wait, but you don't know that we're looking.
You're on the. You're kind of on the deck.
Okay, so it works. So I could take it.
You can only give it to one for the time that they're going to take it.
Oh,
so.
I didn't know. I assumed that she was giving it to me.
That's fine.
Well, we both had to roll.
Yeah, you can take it.
He asked for both of us to roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just being selfish.
Yeah, you take it. I mean, not that you need it, but
now I'll have
20
perception.
So both of you see, as you're sort of braced and looking around, the storm is just a solid line of storm that reaches probably all the way back to Tormenrail. There is no way you traveled through this. And also, there's no way, the water got choppy. There was some chop. This would have been, you were in a storm. There is no way you missed this. This is absolutely bizarre. And Ketch, particularly to you, this feels very much like that storm in Tormenrail. Of it just hit everywhere simultaneously. Nero, with your 20, you're sort of looking at that, and you're looking back and forth, and you're all around, and as you're looking, and as you're kind of peering at all of this, on the side of the boat, you see a figure clambering up with claws. And as you are about to go to sort of, shout to the marauders, you see the next one. And sort of eyes widening with a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, you look to the other side and you see the next one. And it's 10:11, so let's wrap up here for tonight.
No! Fight!
Fight.
Precisely because it's a fight, and you have a 5-person party, and I don't think everyone wants to stay up until like 11:30 resolving the combat. 11:30 our time. Later for everyone else. So, thank you so much, everyone. Really hope you enjoyed this. We hope this was a fun session that you got to watch along with, and you get to see the Marauders fight some fish people next time. As a reminder, we are Helpful Good Gaming. We are a small independent game design and game content creation community. We stream here on Twitch, twitch.tv/helpfulgo, Switch, right, good job. We stream every week. Tuesdays we normally playtest our own RPG. Wednesdays, probably going forward, we'll generally have Goat's Eye View, but for the month of October we'll be doing some spooky programming to celebrate the Halloween spirit. Thursdays we have Spire with Elise, wherein the party attempts to split more and more.
No, that's the opposite of what's happening now.
Nice.
The party's together.
The party is no longer trying to reproduce via cell division. And then, that's true, they were much more unified last time. And then on Fridays, we alternate between tier campaign and our long-running homebrew campaign, Goats and Dragons, The Fates of Rin, which will be a level 1 to level 20 campaign. We're at 13 right now. And that's been a lot of fun. If you enjoy all of this, you can also check us out on YouTube, where we're Helpful Good Gaming. You can check out our video archive there. And we also have podcasts, which you can find in the descriptions down below. If you've enjoyed this and you would like to become a part of this community, you can use the !Discord command in chat and join up with the link that is there. We'd love to have you. We'd love to get to hang out with you. We'd love to get to spend time together in this time where it's very hard to spend time together. From myself, thank you so much to the players for playing tonight. I love getting to watch you all tell these fine, heroic figures stories. I also wanted to once again point out that the trailer that we played at the beginning of this episode featured the theme for the World of Tyr, the 8 Pillars, by Sam Winnie. And featured character art for these characters, and the tokens are also from Monty, who's at Miraculous Monty on Twitter, and I saw your hand motion. I thought you were holding up your hand to say something. You can commission them for artwork upon occasion. Wonderful D&D art, and the trailer itself is put together by Adam Lawver. Thank you so much, everyone, for playing. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you had a good time. I hope that this provided you with some comfort, with some togetherness, some sense that there are people in the world with you who want to stand with you and make things as better as we can. From all of us here at Helpful Goat Games, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Be well. Be kind to yourself and others. Love you all.